The beautiful melodies there of the late great Papa Wemba. Will be celebrating his life in just a few moments. However, we do have to take you back to some breaking news that we're receiving for you here on Citizen TV. A 6-story building has collapsed in Nairobi's Huruma Estate. The Kenya Red Cross says the building is adjacent to Buthia Club. Kenya Red Cross says search and rescue operations are currently underway at the site of the collapsed building. Let's recap that for you. We bring you some breaking news where a 6-story building has collapsed in Nairobi's Huruma Estate. The Kenya Red Cross says the building is adjacent to Buthia Club, and the Kenya Red Cross Society also says the search and rescue operations are currently underway at the site of the collapsed buildings. No reports as of yet of any deaths or injuries, but we will stay on that story. Again, all this has been attributed to the heavy rains and floods. Please stay safe wherever you are. We now welcome you to our one-on-one segment right here on Citizen Weekend. DJ Crossfade is at the decks, as usual, always bringing the house down. So you can now bring us some accompaniment as we usher in the tribute show tonight. We have a fantastic panelist, I should say, here to celebrate the life of Papa Wemba. Right next to me, we have Fred Machoka, radio personality, MC, interacted many times with Papa Wemba, hosted a lot of the shows when he was here in the country. And of course, we know him for playing a lot of his music and making us familiar with it. So we welcome him to the show, and we'll be talking to him in just a few moments. And then we have Suzanne Owio, of course, one of our great musicians in Kenya. She shared a stage with Papa Wemba, and she'll correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the influence in her music, I think, can be attributed to the likes of Papa Wemba. And then we have Jules Nsana. Jules is a promoter who would bring Papa Wemba into the country, so he interacted with him, knew him on a personal level, so we'll be talking to him about that. And then we're honored to be joined in studio by Prince Ikalaba Wemba, son of Papa Wemba, who's also a musician. We'll be hearing a little bit of music from him and Suzanne in just a few moments. I want to thank you all so much for coming here and celebrating the life and times of Papa Wemba. And first of all, I'd maybe very briefly start with Ikalaba and say my condolences to you and your family on the death of Papa Wemba. How would you like your father to be remembered?
My father to be remembered?
Yes.
By his music?
Yeah.
His music will remain forever.
Yeah. What was it that you think was so special about him that he really became a legend? He's someone that we'll be talking to our children, our children's children about. What is it that made your father so different as a person and as a musician?
Because him, first of all, is a father. He's a father to everybody.
Yeah.
He made many musicians in Congo. People like Kofi Olomide. There are many who came from his band.
Yeah.
So, him is generation to generation. That's why what you just said, that our children will still remember because of his generation to generation. Because of music and because he showed people how to dress well.
Yeah. I think we'll talk about that. I can see you followed in his footsteps. You're dressing very well.
Oh, yes.
Before we move on to our other guests, what was he like as a father? What kind of father was he to you?
It was, to me, it was just a father.
Yeah.
When I'm with him, it's between father and son. That's why the promoter took me to Kinshasa, brought me in Kenya. Because Papa never wanted me to do music. Yeah. He just wanted me to learn. As I went to school, I did languages, I finished. Then I wanted to do the law. But since the music is hereditary, it was in me.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop it.
And that's why you're doing music today.
Oh, yes.
And I heard you sing a little bit. You have an amazing voice, and I know we'll hear from you in just a few moments. Maybe we can move to Suzanne and tell us a little bit about the influence, and I mentioned it, and I said you'll correct me if I'm wrong, the kind of influence that his music has had on your own music?
I would say one of the things I remember, and especially meeting Papa Wemba, and what I learned from him, this was in, we shared a stage in 2010, that was in Norway. But one thing I've learned, having listened to his music, you know, is his versatility. You know, he was so versatile when it came to it came to music, and especially combining, you know, like fusing the rumba in a different, you know, with an electric feel, an electric rock sort of. You know? So to me,
bringing different genres together. Yeah.
And one of the things I learned is Papa Wemba was so open to learn, you know, to learn other. To learn music from different countries, and that's why he collaborated with various musicians across board, you know, because you listen to Papa Wemba, what comes out is fresh, you know, he's always fresh, full of surprises, you know, and he's somebody that his music, I would say, can never die. You know, it's not that easy because he's full of surprises, like I said.
All right. We'll be asking a little bit more about your interactions with him in just a bit. Jules, you would bring Papa Wemba to the country. I believe you would tour with him as well. What was he like on the road as a musician, in his element? How can you describe his energy?
Yes, Papa Wemba is like, for me, I can say is some different artists and many artists. He's big artist. The time you go to sign him, he will tell you something I like. It's not very arrogant. It's simple artist. He will tell you the first something I want to do for me. I want to the time I will like in Nairobi. I want to see like people we call shege. Shege is like chokora.
Oh right.
Yeah. Okay.
You called shege?
Yeah, we are called shege.
Okay.
He said something I want you brought me in the country. I see all this chokora.
What would he do with them?
He's help them.
Okay.
He'll tell them, don't be like somebody you lose your life. No? One day you'll get, because God loves everybody. God can give you surprise. Don't be like somebody say
don't negligent those chokora, because one day you never know.
You never know you'll come in.
Wow.
If somebody is not complicated like many musicians, it's very simple. And you see, like today now we say we'll do big memories next weekend. We'll brought like everybody, because somebody we are crying anytime. You know, you cannot talk about him. We are shocked.
Yes. Yeah, you must be in shock. And again, our biggest condolences, because you knew him on a very personal level, Ikalaba as well. And maybe, Fred, at this point you can come in because of, you know, you having been on radio for such a long time and playing his music, playing his sounds, emceeing at some of his events. When did you first interact with Papa Wemba?
I can't even remember.
It was that long. Was I born? Maybe I wasn't born. I don't know.
I think it must be almost 20 years ago.
Okay.
But at more personal level is during his visits to Kenya.
Okay.
Papa Wemba was different. Different, in my opinion, because he wanted to assess things, social events, from a very low perspective, like Jules said, and his son indeed, that he wanted to meet with the Bashege, you know, the street kids, because for me, I think he wanted to see the originality in these kids, because these are the real people, you know, they don't pretend, they do things that you can't expect, and they are very creative. And I think a lot of his music, when you listen to it, even the lyrics, it tells you that there is a lot of social life that is injected in those lyrics, that then translates into what we as a people do on day-to-day basis.
All right, and I know we're also playing a lot of his music on your screens right now, so we can be celebrating it as we go along. Maybe I can ask each and one of you, some of you, some people may not know the exact genre of music. Was it soukous? And please tell me if I'm saying it right. There was rumba. What was Papa Wemba's genre of music?
I think it was
a mix. A mix of what and what?
Okay. When for example he sang with Manu Dibango from Cameroon, it was a slow sort of almost jazz kind of music. When he did Kaukoko Korobo and Grand Job with Le Quattro Langa Langa, it was sukus.
All right, so that's why Suzanne said it was a
And when he did Rail On, it was now another form of rumba. So
Rail On, Show Me the Way. These are songs that, you know, even I am very familiar with.
Good.
Wake Up with Kofi Olomide as well. Maybe Jules or Prince, you can tell me, because you mentioned he was even one of the people who you didn't see really founded, but was the father of even people like Kofi Olomide. So when did they begin to branch out and go their own way, Kofi Olomide and Papa Wemba? Because we saw that collaboration between them many years ago.
Kofi, when he started music, he came to learn more in Viva la Musica, at Papa's band. Then when he became old, he decided to do his own way. Then he went to do Kachelata.
Okay.
And then Papa never stopped anybody to grow. No.
Yeah. He just wanted them to grow.
Yes.
There's something else interesting about Papa Wemba, is that the likes of other musicians like Salif Keita and Yusundur kind of became international musicians. It's almost like Papa Wemba was conflicted. It's like he wanted to become, he is international, but they really kind of went on to sort of like a popular culture stage. But he also wanted to retain that element of being proudly Congolese. Would you say that he was kind of torn between those two worlds?
I think he was torn between the two worlds, and that's why he had a band in Europe which was for performances in abroad.
Oh, really?
And then he had a local Viva la Musica also in Congo, which then retained the authenticity of African music. Because if you check some of the musicians who went specifically to live abroad, they actually never came back to Congo and blended well enough, because they sort of were ostracized from wherever they came from. So Papa Wemba wanted to retain a bit of both.
And maybe I can, sure.
Whole group. Viva la Musica International, you can see the Japanese, the French people, the Senegal people. Viva la Musica Molokai, this one, like my brother say, you will see they have King Kesta Emeneya, they are Redi Amisi, they have Kofi Olomide. Yes, he's the guy who people say international, mix everything. It's like culture. You know, if you do music, you must respect your culture. Like I respect my sister, because music is something you must take in village. If you take this one, you will be powerful, man. Don't do something like you take blah blah blah. No. You must take something in village.
And
you see
stay with it.
Yes, you see like Saif Keita, Yusundu, Papa Wemba, and the time they say Molokai, they just bring something in the village and they put to come up. Yes.
That's interesting. And before we come to a sense of style, because that's something that, you know, we really want to go into, Susanna, they've talked about the fact that you need to retain some of that home feel. But as a musician, you can tell us about that struggle of trying to make a decision to say, I want to break out on the international stage and have a sound that everyone can celebrate, but I also want to be remembered and celebrated at home. Where do you draw the line? How do you make that decision?
Well, I think one of the things I admire about Papa Wemba is trying to fit in both, you know, because I also read, I do follow his music, and one of the things he did is retaining the rumba feel for Congolese in Congo. You know, when you are in the international platform, the audience is different. It's not necessarily the rumba fans, so you really have to see how you can suit, you know, or how you can appeal to a different audience altogether. And it can't be that easy, right? Because different groups. Yeah, it's not easy, and I've seen quite a number of African musicians, like the likes of Yusundu. I remember sharing a stage with him, and one day we were just talking, and he told me, Susanna, you know, even in Senegal, when you record music, you must have something for Senegalese. You know, Senegalese love dancing. You know, there's a lot of dance in the music. But when you go abroad, he has the same album, but done differently to appeal to the international audience. All right. So so that's the let's move to the man behind the fashion.
and there was a style. Don't laugh at my pronunciation. Maybe, Prince, you can take us through the style. I know there was a lot of colors and flamboyant style. What was his style like, and how did he influence style today?
You know, there is this religion they call religion Kitendi. Religion Kitendi. Religion Kitendi means religion of dressing.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
There was a pope of religion Kitendi who was called Stervos Niarchos. Stervos Niarchos, the one who brought him to the people was Papa.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Papa showed people how to dress nice, how to shave nice, how to smell nice.
Okay.
Yes. That's why it says bien coiffé, bien rasé, bien parfumé.
All right.
Now, but griffe your song.
Yeah.
Griffe a song means labels.
The designer wear.
Designer.
And I know it got crazy at some point. I think he was trying to mentor the youth not to go too crazy in trying to acquire designer clothes, right? But maybe you can, is what you're wearing today, Prince, is part of that influenced by your father?
Oh yes.
Yeah?
Papa died on the stage putting on Dolce & Gabbana.
Oh, really?
That's why.
The big design.
Look at that.
It's called Dolce & Gabbana.
Dolce & Gabbana.
About 2016.
Yeah. By 2016 he was still wearing Dolce & Gabbana. Tell us a little bit more about his style influence, your comments on that. Maybe we can go around.
Yeah, to dress is very nice. You know, if somebody tell you must dress very nice, you must do good perfume, you must put everything nice. We respect Papa Wemba because he's the guy teller. Like now, you know, this one is Jean-Franco Ferre, this Jean-Franco Ferre, this Versas. You know, you do something from artist, you must be clean and nice.
Okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to add something on the promoter. Papa said, you dress well, you smell well, you know. Then when the music, when they came up, they said, bon chic, bon genre. When you say bon chic, bon genre, it's just the same thing that Papa said. Yeah. You know.
Okay, but he's the one who came up with it first.
Yes, he's in the top.
You know, it's interesting because I think when you look at a lot of people from DRC, from Congo, they dress really well.
No, and the Kenya, like my brother speaks Larios.
I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about that. I mean,
this one is called Larios.
Larios.
It's in sapology. It's already in sap.
Oh, so Fred is already...
Yeah, this one
Does
is
it also
Larios.
relate to women? Can women also be part of that?
Yeah, like you now, you're in
am I?
Yes.
I just wanted to know that I was doing okay.
In fact, I asked him when I was coming in, you know, was I dressed to suit the, you know, the interview? You know,
that's why I even did yellow nail polish. Yeah. We have to move to his music soon, but please,
before you do, the latest interaction between Papa Wemba and I, he was at Ole Sereni, and I had gone to get him for an interview early in the morning. So I find Gilles waiting at the reception, and I tell him, go get Papa Wemba, I want to interview him for radio. And you know what he did?
Yeah.
He said he went to Papa Wemba's room, and Papa Wemba told him, you see, I'm not ready. I have to dress well.
For radio.
This is radio. And I have interviewed so many musicians, you know, others who are literally not wearing much. But Papa Wemba wanted to look good even when I was...
And that's why his legacy stays on. I think we now want to move to the heart of what Papa Wemba was known for, which is his music. Maybe each of you could tell me your favorite Papa Wemba song and why. I'm sure it's a tough one because he had such a wide, you know, very many albums and songs. Suzanne, your favorite Papa Wemba song and why?
Number one song is Kao Koko Korobo. I remember listening to that song in a club. There was a club somewhere in Parklands called Legacy. So a friend of mine introduced me to that place, and that's where I heard Papa Wemba for the first time.
And that's the one playing?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, then I was like, wow, what a voice, you know? And is that a man's voice or a female voice, you know? So I was so more attracted with the voice, you know? And so, of course, after that, I got introduced to his music. Been listening to various albums. There's also this song, Raylon. We have Valencia, Maria Valencia. You know, there are so many. Yeah,
but that's the one that stands out because it's your first memory. And and we'll be playing some of his songs a little later on. Prince, this must be hard for you. I mean, you grew up with his music, you were surrounded by it, but is there one song that for you was really special from your father?
For me, all are well for me.
Yeah.
Everything.
There's not even one. It's a tough one. There must be one that is always playing in your head. When you're walking, when you're talking, it's in your head.
Okay, there's this one is sung. Na kadisi pasi ya mwana yosundola ngai frema yogabe méchant ngai na sipote pe mingi mbula na mbulaka na kabanzoto tero na kozela.
You have a really amazing voice. That's it sounds really good.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll be hearing you two in just a few moments. I heard you doing a little something. Jules, your favorite?
I like Show Me the Way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that, by the way. I love that song. Please don't make me dance to Papa Wemba. I wouldn't know where to start. Yeah.
I love many of Papa Wemba's songs. There is one called Grand Job that he did with Le Quattro Langa Langa. His old buddies, Bozi Boziana, you know, and other three, you know, Gina and others.
Could you sing it for me? Could you sing it a little bit, like one line?
Let me tell you the one I like to sing for you. One line. It's called Yolele.
I know Yolele.
Yolele is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. You have a voice, eh?
I know in just a few moments we're going to listen to sort of like a version of your music dedicated to Papa Wemba, but the two of you were doing something really beautiful. I think you were singing Raylon.
No, actually, that's a song we meant to do.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The two of you will be doing it together?
Yes.
Oh, gosh, I'm looking forward to that.
Then we will ask the DJ to look for Grand Job. Really.
You're putting pressure on the guy. Later on.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously we are still celebrating, and I think now we're going to go and invite Suzanne.
And we're going to speak Kiswahili a little bit. Janet,
really, Fred?
You grew up in Mombasa. I
spoke so nicely to him, not to put me on the spot. But I think right now we want to listen to a little bit of music. Prince, Ikalaba, and Suzanne. Maybe are they going to move on set, perhaps? All right, and I think Prince, you can also sort of just join her on the side and give us a little feel of Raylon.
Oh, okay.
Maya matape matika lambote Maria Hello Belina ya Maria Valenza Sekalina ya Maria Valenza Hello Belina ya Maria Valenza Pakane mawazo akurani ya chango kama we unaenda
That was beautiful. He looks like he really wanted to.
Well done.
To dance. Wow,
yeah.
Thank
well
you.
Done, sister.
Very well done. That was beautiful. And have you two not done a song together? Was that the first time?
Actually, the first time.
I was even requesting to do a collab with her.
Look at that.
But you've just done it.
That's it.
Just done it.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Is the music you do, Prince? Is the music you do? Does it sound like the kind of music that Papa Wemba did? Is it the same style?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I mean, even the voice.
Even their voices are almost are the same. Are there any new artists other than yourself who you can say are carrying on his legacy and his sound in a good way? Any of you? Who is an artist today that you feel, yeah, he gets it, he's kind of taking on what Papa Wemba has left behind? Anyone that comes to mind?
We can push like this gentleman is called Ferregola.
Sorry, say that again.
Ferregola.
Oh, Ferregola.
Ferregola.
Yeah,
he's doing a good job. The thing I really would like to encourage the young upcoming artists who want to take rumba seriously is that music that percolates the entire age spectrum is music that must be remembered, so that when you are walking, when you are working in the shamba or someplace, or even in the shower, you can be able to hum a tune. If the tune is not memorable, however good that song is, it is almost useless.
Yeah.
So it has to sink in your audience's mind, you know, at the back of one's mind. They just find themselves singing without even realizing it.
Ray Lon is a very good example.
It is a good example.
Kind of rings in your mind. Yeah.
So I think the challenge that young musicians have is they got nice voices, they can sing beautifully, but some of the music I can't remember. And if I can't remember as the consumer of that song, then it is an opportunity wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to read something as we wind up, and I stand to be corrected, but someone said, they quoted Papa Wemba in an interview saying, and this is what he said, I want to die on stage. I want my last day to be on stage. And when he was asked why, he says, because every time I'm on stage, when I'm singing, I feel as if I'm flying. That's something that he said in an interview?
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched the same interview.
You watched the same interview. Isn't that powerful?
I think it is powerful. I think it's a soldier dying in the battlefield.
You know,
and I think that's the best way to die.
Papa did not mean what people are thinking.
Yeah.
Papa meant, even if I'm 100 years, I'll die a musician.
I will die?
I'll die a musician.
A musician.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll still sing. I'll still be on the stage.
Yeah.
You understand? That is what he meant.
Yeah. Okay. I think his final performance is what is on air right now. And like we said, it came to a shock as all of us. I know now there's preparations for his final moments on earth. I think you talked about how you want him to be remembered. Prince, I asked you earlier on. Maybe I'll go around finally and ask Suzanne as well how you want Papa Wemba to be remembered, and Jules and Fred as well.
I think for me, Papa Wemba was a pillar in the African music, who serenaded, who traversed the world, serenading his fans with his good music and a sense of fashion. That is one thing that will stick into our mind. Who was a trendsetter, and so we've lost one of the greatest voices of all times. And it's quite unfortunate. But to me, I just want to celebrate him, and of course I condole with my brother here and the family, and also his fans, and the world as a whole.
All right.
Africa has lost a gem, I would say.
Thank you so much. I think we'll hear from Prince Ikalaba last. We can talk to Fred about how you want him to be remembered.
I think I want him to be remembered as a musician who could appeal to both young and old generation. A person who took time to learn from the best. Because I remember he took time after the earlier musicians, Franco, Tabule, were easy, slow rumba musicians. But when Papa Wemba and Zaiko Langalanga came into the scene, it was like a revolution, because it was fast tempo music with Zaiko Langalanga. But later on again, he went back to learn about more music from Afriza's, Tabule's Afriza band, which means he recognized talent when he saw it. And later on then, he blended with a lot of other African musicians, and indeed even recorded a song that was done by an American soul artist called Otis Redding. And he gave it an African feel, which means he loved the African, the culture of African music. So I really want him to be remembered as a person who tried everything to make his audience happy. And he knew that he had to dress well in order to make that audience, excited.
He had to be a performer as well. All right. Thank you for that. It's a huge loss.
It is a huge loss. I'll be traveling to Kinshasa to attend the burial. That is on Sunday. We hope we can learn more from the other mourners.
Thank you so much for that. And on that note, Jules, as you tell us how you want him to be remembered, maybe you can give us some details on the plans for his burial and what's expected.
We'll do something next week, Saturday. I think we'll be in Bomas together, and many artists. We'll call like 2-3 artists from Paris, from Papa Wemba, together. The son will call Susan Aulio, we'll call many people. For me, I want to say, to remember Papa Wemba very nice, we must take care from new generation. You see, like in America today, you can see Asha and Chris. They just do something like Michael Jackson. For us, again, we must take care from the new generation to show her what you can do. You must do like that to come like Papa Wemba, to come like Kofi, to do like that, like my brother said. You see, many musicians, new generation, they don't know do like the old. And you see, from new generation, they can do something. You cannot say like 2 years, 3 years. I say thank you for my sister Susan. I like this one they call Kisumu Bere. You can go, you see Kofi tell me, Jules, you know Kisumu Bere? Because it's something is do very serious. This job now we like something like that.
Thank you for that. I think, Suzanne, before we hear from Prince, we understand you'll be singing Yolele, I think a short rendition of it. So I've been asked to ask you to make your way.
Are you for real?
She's asking, are you for real?
Are you for real?
Yes.
The DJ has to play the song. And all of us should
join in,
including yourself.
Be included. We'll be right at the end, but I think we're just about done. We'll see how we'll go about that. Prince, before you tell us again how you want him to be remembered, what was the last conversation that you had with your father? Do you remember?
I spoke to him on Saturday. He died on Sunday.
Wow.
He told me, I've already talked to the promoter. After Abidjan, I'm coming to Kenya. Then this time when I come to Kenya, I have to introduce you to everybody to know you who you are. When I think about that,
yeah, it's hard.
the same thing he told me on 31st December, because we entered 2016 together. We were together in Kinshasa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you had an amazing life with him, and once again, we truly condole with you and your family, your friends. We wish you the very best as you go through this trying time. As you've said, Suzanne, as well, the fans also, many devastated. We truly thank the four of you for coming here and sharing your memories of Papa Wemba. And obviously, the conversation will continue. Use the hashtag #1on1 on Twitter and 22422. And, you know, even me, you know, we all remember him in some way, because he was part of us when we were growing up. Part of the sound that you would hear on the radio. So really for Africa, for the world, it's a huge loss. And I thank you for coming here to celebrate with us. Of course, before we wind up, Suzanne got her wish. We'll just hear from the DJ. He'll play Yolele and maybe we'll just sing along. You, the four of you, will sing along. Yes, sure.
I'm going to thank you for this opportunity.
Sure.
I thank my promoter. I thank Johnny Lopez for them being there for me. So in this sad moment I am.
Yeah.
I thank all the Congolese businessmen who are together with my promoter, who want to do something for me, so that to remember Papa.
Yeah. Thank you for that, and we hope we'll be hearing more from you and your music very soon.
Oh, yes.
Make sure you bring it to Kenya.
You got it. You
Okay.
get it.
Great. So thank you all once again, Jules, Fred, Suzanne. We're going to leave you with Yolele. No, Fred.
Will you come to Roga Roga?
Will I come to Roga Roga?
As my guest, we talk about Papa Wemba on Radio Citizen.
Can I confirm that off air?
No.
It would be great though, but let's confirm it. Let's confirm it off air. And of course, sadly, we will be bringing you more details of the ongoing floods. Remember to stay with Citizen TV for that and other stories. I'm Janet Bogwandisho. I was standing in for Lillian Muli. Thank you so much for watching Citizen Weekend on #1on1. Let's now leave you with some Papa Wemba as we say good night. Thank you.